Hey folks, Brandon here. Just a note up top to let you know that due to some technical difficulties that were entirely my fault, we lost the video footage of us giving our first impressions of the Innsmouth Conspiracy Guardian cards. We do have the audio, and we will overlay the cards on the screen. So this is just a note to let you know that you won't see Steven and my smiling, beautiful faces for this particular video. We'll be back to normal for the Seeker video later this week. Also, while I'm here, this video is going up the day before the election in America, and this is our chance to vanquish some real-life ancient evils. They've been driving us all into insanity as they ignore science, trample on our rights, alienate our global allies, and try to convince us that this is somehow making us great. So we need to not only vote out Trump and all of them at every level, but create a landslide result that sends a message that truth, inclusion, and hope are the real American way. So if you haven't voted already and you live in America, I want to encourage you to pause this video, even if you think that your vote doesn't matter based on where you live, or if it's inconvenient. Take a moment, go to a resource like www.iwillvote.com, which can help you check out whether you're registered and where you can safely cast your ballot by tomorrow. Please do so. And then come on back, and we're going to get into these sweet new Innsmouth Conspiracy cards. Thanks. Talk to you soon. Welcome back to Optimal Play. I'm Brandon.
I'm Steven.
Steven, remember all that 100 player cards and 5 new investigators, all those starter decks that we spent the last month and a half talking through?
Yeah, very, very familiar.
Yeah, forget all those. They're old news.
Yeah.
No longer the new hotness.
I know you just drove across town to find the one store that still had Stella, but it's throw in the garbage.
Yeah, no, she's no longer exciting. What is exciting is the Innsmouth. There we go. Innsmouth Conspiracy. The Innsmouth Conspiracy. The new deluxe box. The first one in about a year because of COVID delays.
And there was just a lot of other product coming out too, between
that too.
Return to Forgotten Age and Blob, I think, for people that didn't get it at Gen Con, and the Investigator decks. There's not really a shortage of stuff coming out.
Arkham Horror.
Arkham?
How could you forget?
Yeah.
We did. I had 2 people join me, and we've recorded a playthrough that is in the editing queue. I don't know when it will be up, but that scenario's wacky. It's a good time. If by the way you're just finding Optimal Play, we do card reviews for games like Arkham Horror the card game, which is what you're watching now, and we also do edited playthroughs of Arkham and various other card and board games. So if you have fun with us today, we'd love if you would subscribe, hit the like button, comment, and tell us how right we are. I'm sure.
At least say that Steven was right. You don't have to say that we're both right. But.
No, you may have noticed I'm wearing the same shirt as when we recorded our final thoughts on Stella, and I feel like people are gonna have their pitchforks out for that. But anyway, clean slate, new box, new cycle. Those are done. Innsmouth. The Innsmouth box seems like one of the most kind of dramatically fresh and new things we've seen in a while. It has a sheet of tokens in it. Have you seen these?
Yeah, I just noticed them. I just got it today.
Oh yeah, actually, I took the shrink off mine specifically just so it wouldn't glare if I decided to hold it up. I obviously have not played with them either. Some new chaos tokens, curses and blesses, which we'll talk about if we see any cards mention them. I have a hunch we might. And also keys and flood tokens, which have no inherent effect. That's what the rules say. So that's I'm sure it's exciting. So we are gonna do 6 more videos, I think, on this. What's 6 more after the 10 investigator starter deck videos? I think we'll go class by class, and then 1 video for any neutral cards and basic weaknesses that are in the box. These will hopefully come in well under the hour that we were spending per video on the investigator starter decks. And we're going back to the old comfortable
order that these are printed in any product, starting with the best class, Guardian. So unless you have anything you'd like to add or any predictions or anything you'd like to throw in, you want to give us our Guardian Investigator?
I'm gonna guess that Guardians are pro blessing and anti cursing. Seems like their vibe.
Yeah, they have always liked to have God on their side, basically.
And then Mystics will probably be the reverse. It'll probably be like, get some cool effect, but you're cursed.
I don't know. I feel like rogues are the ones who are like signing deals all the time.
But Mystics like add doom and stuff, like they.
That's true. They're already the ones who like, screw the team for their own advancement. So what's a few more curses?
All right, but this Guardian seems especially blessed because she is Sister Mary the Nun, 4 will, 2 book, 3 fight, and 3 agility. She's a believer in blessed.
So can Mateo play her? She's blessed. She can go in Mateo's deck, right?
I think that's how it works.
Yeah.
During setup, add 2. I'm guessing that means blessed tokens to the chaos bag. When the round ends, add 1 blessed token to the chaos bag. And Elder Side, +1. If you succeed, add 1 blessed token to the chaos bag. The Lord watches over my path. I am armored in faith. She has 5 health and 9 sanity.
Yeah, she's not armored in armor. With 5 health. she's squishy for a Guardian.
I'm assuming that that's the icon for blessed tokens, and that she isn't some kind of evil nun.
That is correct. Yeah. So, what blessed tokens do? So, it's not a keyword that says add them to the chaos bag. Blessed tokens are. I'll punch one out as a visual aid. These little star. They look more like an 8-pointed star on the token, but they are like a 4-pointed star when they appear on the card. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a little extra embellishment on the token, I guess, to kind of their icon. What they do is they go in the chaos bag. They will be in there as you take tests like any other chaos token. When you draw them out, they give you +2, and you draw another token, and you remove them from the bag. So they are the first ever consumable chaos tokens. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, we've with my friends Kyle and Ian, we've been streaming a decent amount of Arkham on twitch.tv/optimalplay. Follow us there. Where as a way, so if you've watched Twitch much, you know that when you watch certain channels, you accumulate, we call them experience points, but you get like frequent viewer points pretty much for watching a channel, and then can spend them in whatever ways that the streamer defines. We've been letting people spend their experience points to bless and curse our chaos bags already, since these were previewed and somebody mocked them up in Tabletop Simulator so that we could already put them in the bag. So I've actually played a good, I don't know, couple dozen games with kind of blesses and curses in play. No player cards that refer to them, but I've gotten a good feel for what they do to the chaos bag. And I gotta tell you, it's not much. I think most of the time when we draw a blessing, we would have passed that test anyway, right? Like it's a +2 that it's +2 and then draw another token. And then if you're playing Arkham well, you're probably setting yourself up to pass 80% of tests anyway, right? So 80%.
Unless you're like a survivor or something.
Sure, yeah, you're right.
Maybe it'll screw you up. It's like, I was trying to look what I found.
Yeah, oh man, what... I want to see the Sister Mary and Stella team. And Stella's like, damn it, I keep passing all my tests. So yeah, I find that like 80% of the time you were going to already pass. And then for the other 20, half of those times you draw a blessing and then still fail because it was an auto fail, or you drew a skull that's currently -5 or whatever. So really, like, I would ballpark it as blessings mattered 10-ish% of the times that we drew them, and then it also, a lot of time you just don't draw them. So they're kind of weak. I think we're definitely going to see player cards that care about them. I think no doubt about that. So I'm interested, but yeah, I don't know. Do you have any? I don't think you have proxied them and played with them like we have, but any thoughts on these?
I have not played with them. I mean, maybe it's a boost for the like rogue succeed by a ton archetype. So like,
Yeah,
I don't know if we'll see
maybe.
even more cards like that.
Yeah.
Like ideally, if it's going to be like the big mechanic of this cycle, hopefully maybe you'll see outside of rogue like reasons that you want to succeed by 5 or whatever.
Right.
Because yeah, I agree with you. Like I don't think I would make decisions assuming I'm going to get a blessed token unless like half the bag is blessed tokens.
Yeah.
But even then, there's a danger that, oh, what if you draw like 4 blessed tokens and then now you've used them all up?
Yep. And that happens.
To succeed by 12.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, and I've focused this on blessed tokens. Curse tokens obviously are a thing also, and they do the exact opposite, or the exact. Actually, they do almost exactly the same thing, just with a -2 instead of a +2. It's a better way to put it. They sabotage your test and then go away. So overall, I really think it's a cool factor to have, because at this point, I've played hundreds of games of Arkham. It's fun to have the math that I've internalized pretty well and I'm pretty confident in kind of shaken up so much.
Yeah, Curse seems like it would be much worse because aside from Rogue, I'm not often like committing enough cards to like succeed by 2 with like one of the worst tokens. I'm normally like, what's the worst token?
Yeah.
At least the worst common token. I'll try to be exactly that much over.
In general, yeah. So then there's the question of, well, so -4 is the worst the bag gets, but there's 2 curses in there. Do I spend this extra card to go up to -6 just in case of curse followed by a -4? Like, it's a small chance, but yeah, it's interesting.
And then you do that and you get both curse tokens and you still fail.
Yes, right. Yeah, it happens. And then kind of still though, I feel like curses, because it's just 1 token in the bag and they go away, like 1 or 2 curses being thrown in don't do that much to your game ultimately. When it gets crazy is when there's 7 blesses and 8 curses, because then anything can happen. And my understanding is you are limited by the 10 of each that are included in the box. So it can and is, I think, expected to get up there. When you take a test and your token draw is like blessing, curse, 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 blessing, elder sign or something, like it is. There's a point at which you just have to surrender to the whims of fate altogether.
So what are the rules for blessing and curses on non-skill tests?
Good question. I think that what we have done, because the rules weren't technically official yet, so it's not like we were going to submit rules questions when this came up in our house ruled curse and bless tokens. We always just threw them back and drew again, because it didn't quite seem right to like, okay, I didn't draw the token that treachery was trying to get me to draw, so great, I dodged it. Like, that felt a little broken, and also drawing it at and not getting any benefit or not getting any effect from its number and still removing it from the bag also felt weird. So we just threw it back and redrew. I do not know what the ruling is on that.
Yeah, that can make a big difference.
Yeah. So bringing this back, I guess, to Sister Mary.
I actually still need to finish reading her deck.
Oh, does she get to put cards in her deck?
She actually is required to. You have to put 30 cards in her deck.
Oh,
it's
wow.
It's a big drawback.
Okay.
Now. So she can take Guardian cards level 0 to 5. So she's tougher than Carolyn. Neutral 0 to 5. Mystic 0 to 2. And then just has a regular like signature, weakness, and asset, or card at least.
Okay, so we got our Guardian Mystic. It's kind of like reverse Diana, right? And
not even reverse Diana. That's just. Oh yeah, you're right. Diana's yeah. So far, I haven't seen anything that would make me want to play her over Diana.
Well, yeah, and I think it's going to come down to these. I mean, all of the text on the front of her card is about these blessings, so it's going to come down to: is there a deck archetype that really rewards you for using these blessings? I think, or is my anecdotal impression that blessings are not that good wrong? maybe they're just better than I'm giving them credit for. What I think is interesting is we don't see a lot of investigators that buff skills as their ability, which is ultimately what this is, right? It's kind of like a blessing is +2 to a skill. It's just that it's at an unpredictable time. But
I mean, in the early days, before there were many good tomes, like Daisy's ability was basically I'm an encyclopedia someone once per turn.
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, you can certainly boost skills with cards and have those interact with abilities, but I think Sister Mary's a little unique in that she just kind of floats up the average skill value of her team. And I think, so to me, she just screams like she's kind of a supporty character that people are all going to do a little better because she's there, which is actually a
Yeah.
play style I like. So I think that's cool.
I am a little surprised that they printed her, um, you know, not too far after Carolyn, who's like very similar stats.
Yeah.
Supporty. The main difference here is that Miss Mary can take all Guardian cards, but it's not like she would necessarily want to take a big Guardian gun or something. Like, it doesn't seem like you'd center her around fighting.
Yeah, being able to take up to level 5 Guardian, like, to me that says, like, cool, she can take Lightning Gun and Flamethrower and that stuff, but she has 3 combat skill, and so...
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, doesn't Lightning Gun give you +5 combat or something? Like, maybe she still is pretty good with...
I guess she could, yeah.
I guess
But
if she's getting a big enough boost from her gun, then it can still be good.
Although if she misses, like if she auto fails and there's a retaliate, she only has 5 hit points, which is pretty nasty.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll be curious looking at the cards that kind of the Guardian cards that come in this box, whether it points towards her being a damage dealer or doing something else. Right now, with 2 intellect, 3 combat, she doesn't really seem to do much. Right?
Yeah.
All right, her signature asset is Guardian Angel. It is a 2-cost asset. It's a ritual and blessed. Guardian Angel may be assigned damage dealt to other investigators at your location and connecting locations. Interesting. And then when any amount of damage is assigned to Guardian Angel, add that many blessed tokens to the chaos bag. It's weird going back to a neutral signature card after we've just been through all these investigator decks where it's switched. Like, this feels like a blue card in every way. So to me, it's weird to go back to neutral.
Yeah, what's a little weird about it is that I don't know. Sure, her hit points are so low. Is it actually going to help other people that much, or is it just going to help keep her alive?
Yeah, I think this just evens her out, right? And it's slotless, so that's actually pretty sweet that this doesn't take up a slot to make up for that weakness of hers. Sorry, not literal weakness, but the weakness of having only 5 health. I'm trying to remember, how much does True Grit cost? It's the Guardian card that's similar. I think
it's like 5. So this is substantially better.
No, it's less than. It might be 3. But
Maybe.
yeah, this is very similar to the Guardian card True Grit, which is also slotless, can take damage for other investigators, and I think is a 3 and 0 soak like this. So I think it's 1 cheaper. It has the connecting location option to tank from a distance, and it adds blessings to the chaos bag. Those all seem pretty. So True Grit's not a good card, I think. So do all these incremental upgrades make this a good card? I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, Mary, I assume she's going to be using Mystic cards, so she's probably taking Brother Xavier for Soak, which is, that one's definitely 5 cost. But
Yes.
Boosts her will, and Soak's 3 and 3. So, like, maybe this gives you, like, an alternative if you're getting low on hit points before you draw your Brother Xavier.
Yeah.
Or also it is cheaper. So.
Yep. And hey, it's got good icons. 2 willpower, 2 combat with that wild there. So it's not unusual for signature cards to be just good icon cards, and this could be that too.
Yeah. And it does add 3 blessed tokens, which, you know, may matter more with other cards in here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you can combine it with, well, I don't know how many ways there are to heal something that is not an ally. Like, right? It's an asset with like no meaningful traits as far as healing it. But if you find ways to heal this, you get even more blessings too, which is cool.
Yeah, sure.
She has a weakness though.
What?
Yeah.
This is Crisis of Faith. It's a madness. Revelation. For each blessed token in the chaos bag, you must either replace it with a curse token or take a horror.
So this is also Diana. It takes the main thing that she's doing and says you can either, get give up all the progress you have or take a horror to keep it. It's actually a little worse than just take blessings out of the bag. It's replace them with curses.
Yeah, there's a whole class of weaknesses that's basically you can't do your investigator's thing until you dealt with it. Like we saw that with Harvey as well. Like you can't go full on big hand until you've drawn the weakness. I don't know that it's like my favorite kind of weakness, because it just means like, hey, wait to do the thing that your character's good at.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's interesting for one or two characters, but I kind of wish they would move away from that and just like let you be you from the beginning.
Yeah. The thing is, though, remember, at least based on, we don't know what other player cards will do, but it's not necessarily Sister Mary's goal to stuff the bag with blessings. Like, she would actually almost rather every blessing she put in be drawn right away for a benefit, rather than have them floating around in there for who knows how long without having made a tangible impact on the game. So this punishes her for throwing a ton of blessings in, but that's not necessarily what she wants to do anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of assuming there will be something that's like, draw 10 tokens and like take a resource for every one of them that's a blessed token or something. But
that sounds incredibly likely. As soon as you said that, I was like, oh yeah, that's a card. Yeah. I don't know which class that will be, but that sounds like a card that will exist. All right. Well, those are her cards. And then we have some Guardian cards. It looks like and flipping through, sorting these cards before we started recording, I think we're back to our very standard, typical 4 cards per class in this box. Dream Eaters with all of its myriad and bonded cards, like through the math off. I think we're back to like every class has 4 level 0 cards. Here's the first one. It's the Book of Psalms. A 3-cost Guardian asset. It's an item, a tome, and blessed. It uses 4 secrets and says, as an action, spend a secret, heal 1 horror from an investigator at your location, add 2 blessed tokens to the chaos bag. Takes up 1 hand. What do you think of this, and how ridiculous is this for Carolyn?
Yeah, I guess this is just point and click for Carolyn. What's the most similar card? There's like First Aid.
Yeah, first aid does, man, it's not a card I've played much. First Aid I think is slotless and lets you heal horror a few times. I think you like take a test and risk dealing. I don't know. Let's not dwell on First Aid.
And then there's the Mystic card, Clarity of Mind, that Carolyn can take as well.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, this seems pretty solid.
But this being able to 4 times heal horror, adding 2 blessings each time. So what this card does is it heals 4 horror and puts 8 blessings in the chaos bag at the cost of 3 resources, a card, a hand slot, and 4 actions using the ability. So it's steep, but I think it seems good. No doubt for Carolyn, because Carolyn is generating resources by doing this.
I think it's going to depend also what kind of good hand slots we see for Sister Mary.
Yeah. And just sorry, go ahead.
Oh, like Mystic is not going to use her hand slots. And if you're not going fighty with her, Guardian cards are mostly not going to use her hand slots either. So maybe she has like totally free hands.
Sure. Yeah. I think it comes down to, like, if this didn't have the blessings, it would not be an exciting card, right? A 3-cost asset that's an action to heal a horror, not that exciting. But this lets you throw, this plus her default 1 per round. She can spend 3 actions adding 7 blessings to the bag all at once. The question is, do we want to do that? Her weakness would certainly punish her for it. But are there things that would reward her for doing that? I think that could be a big source of this card's power, and we'll just have to see what they are. If they are.
Next card, Blessed Blade. 3-cost asset, item, weapon, melee, and blessed. If Blessed Blade is ready, fight. You get +1 fight for this attack. If a blessed or elder sign token is revealed during this attack deals +1 damage. Before revealing chaos tokens for this attack, you may exhaust Blessed Blade to add 1 blessed token to the chaos bag.
So here's a reason you might want 7 blessed tokens in the chaos bag, right?
Yep.
The thing is, man, the conditional +1 damage is tough though, because you're usually staring at an enemy saying like, okay, I want to plan out my turn. How do I do the amount of damage I need to kill this? And when whenever something is going to do a variable amount of damage, it's hard to work with.
Yeah, it's a little better when it doesn't require ammo because
Mm.
let's say you only do 1 damage, you can just go again. Like they probably don't have 5 HP. Let's say that they have 2. Maybe it's like, okay, this will take my first action or it'll take my second action. If they have 3, it's like this could take 1, 2, or 3 actions.
That's true.
And the +1 fight is pretty weak for Mary, but maybe if you have enough blessed tokens in there, you're like, well, I'm at 4 fight, and if I draw a blessed token, I'm at 6 fight, and that's enough.
Yeah. Once the bag is stuffed with blessings, she can start passing. I mean, I guess kind of whatever test she wants to pass if she draws well.
Mm-hmm. And if she doesn't draw a blessed token, you're like, well, it only would have done 1 damage anyway, so I don't care that I.
Right. This reminds me of Shards of the Void, which both has a bag manipulation aspect and that variable damage. Shards of the Void is a card that I really enjoy but don't think is good. So I think that's where I'll land on this too.
I think Shards does have another advantage, which is that Mystics don't have that many attack spells. So like you often play it as just like a third copy of Shriveling. Guardians obviously have no shortage of weapons, so
yeah, good point. Yeah, like for a regular Guardian, for most Guardians that aren't, say, building a Blessed Archetype deck or being Sister Mary, Machete's a lot better than this, right? Machete obviously is tabooed and costs 2 XP, but it's a level 0 card they can all play, and that's... I mean, I guess it's a bad comparison because it is tabooed, which means it was overpowered, but yeah, like I would take Machete over this 10 out of 10 times.
You are also adding blessed tokens, so maybe you're just helping out your teammates.
That's true. Yeah. So it's exhausting it to add the blessed token. So it's on your last stab per round that you would do that. Yeah. Right? Whatever you think that is going to be. And I guess there's no way, not that you'd want to, but you have to fight. You have to be able to fight in order to add that token, right? You can't just spend an action to bless the Chaos Bag with this.
Correct. Yeah, because fight is the first thing.
Yeah, and it's before revealing Chaos tokens for the attack. So the attack must be happening in order to have that opportunity. Okay, she's got... Are all these... Yes, all of the Guardian cards in this box are blessed, which I think means Mateo got 4 new cards.
Yeah, but I think... if you want a horror healing stabby Mateo.
Who doesn't? Bag blessing Mateo. We've got the Rite of Sanctification. It's a 0 cost Guardian asset. It's a ritual and blessed. It says seal up to 5 blessed tokens. Bless tokens. It's weird because bless is a verb only, right? Bless is not a word that's a noun. But anyway, I think they are called...
Thanks for giving me a bless is not something that you say to like your priests.
Yeah, unlike curse or chaos or like most of them are anyway. Seal up to 5 blessed tokens. If Rite of Sanctification has no tokens sealed on it, discard it. As a reaction, when an investigator at your location plays a card, exhaust Rite of Sanctification and release a chaos token sealed on it. Reduce the cost of that card by 2. Ooh. So... Hang on. If you have 5 blessed tokens in the Chaos Bag and temporarily pull them out, so you stop having the potential to draw them, but this lets you provide a total of 10 resources worth of discount, and it releases the tokens, returning them to the bag. It's not even consuming the blessings permanently.
Oh, really?
That's what.
I guess that's true.
That's what.
That's how seal works.
That's what releasing a Chaos token sealed on it does, right?
Mm-hmm.
Seems good. Seems really good.
Yeah, honestly, the only drawback I can see to this is that it's an arcane slot, and I assume Sister Mary is going to be playing a lot of spells.
Yeah. Given
that Will is the one thing she's good at. So I think you probably still play this, but that's really the only downside, is just if you already have Shriveling and Rite of Seeking Out or something.
Yeah, I don't think that this is for Sister Mary if she's playing kind of as a faux mystic. I think that this is for Sister Mary if she's playing in a 3 or 4 player group and is just trying to be the supporter, the one who's blessing everyone else's tests, discounting their cards, healing their damage and horror, right? Like, I think that she is maybe the biggest kind of just support investigator we've seen yet. And this is for when she's wanting to deliver on that.
I think you still play 2 of this, 2 Shriveling and 2 Rite of Seeking in her, and you're just not always going to draw all 3, and like all of those things have limited uses, so
It's
you
true.
might use them up.
Yeah. You also need to be playing more than just like if you want to get like this card is still good if you get say at least 3 blessed tokens on it, but Sister Mary's printed card text alone isn't going to give you the reliability to have those in the bag when you want to play this. You would need more cards than that blessing the bag. So it's not just as simple as throw this into any deck. I think you need
it does exhaust. So let's say that you do want to get your Shriveling out, but you want to use all 5 charges first. It's going to take 5 turns to get the 5 charges. So
yeah.
That's one limitation. But I mean, certainly the max potential of like 10 resources is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a big upside and not a lot of downsides other than that arcane slot. You're right. So I like it.
It's further kind of makes Mary seem very similar to Carolyn because they're both helping you pay for your stuff.
Yes. Yeah, which Carolyn is another very support focused guardian. So no shock there. Was Carolyn in Dream Eaters?
No,
that was Tommy.
She was in Circle Undone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering if we're on a streak of supportive guardians, but I guess maybe we're like alternating.
Yeah.
One more card.
Hand of Fate, a 3-cost event. It's a spell and blessed. Fast, play when an enemy attacks an investigator or location. Cancel that attack. Then add blessed tokens to the chaos bag equal to the attacking enemy's total combined damage and horror values.
So, it's dodge, 2 more expensive.
So it's Hypnotic Gaze.
Yes.
Which is a card that's too expensive to play.
Yeah. Yeah, potentially. So this works on elite enemies. Does dodge? Yes, it does. Yeah, dodge certainly does. Against a typical run-of-the-mill enemy, this would add 2 or 3 blessings to the chaos bag, but there are elites that maybe could get as many as 6 in there with this. That's interesting. I don't know. It doesn't strike me as all that good.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe Caroling because she tends to be really rich, but otherwise, yeah, 3 cost is just really rough.
You could discount this with Rite of Sanctification.
Yep.
Right?
That's true.
Pay for it with blessed tokens and add more to the bag. Yeah, and it is a spell for any time that matters. It is blessed if we find cards where that matters. We did not end up seeing any here that care about the blessed trait, despite all these cards being blessed.
Yeah, I mean, Mateo can find this with Arcane Initiate, but I don't think that it makes the cut in his deck at all. So
yeah, I mean, what Mateo? Who's building Mateo decks? I don't know. Maybe people will now, but I don't know that I saw.
I was kind of hoping that this would like give a new spin on Mateo in the way that like Nathaniel might enable a new Calvin or something. So far, what I've seen, it doesn't seem like, oh man, I'm really gonna like reconsider Mateo. In fact, I would say Eucatastrophe was a bigger deal than all 4 of these cards combined for Mateo.
Sure. Yep. I can't disagree with you there. And surely, since it seems like the blessed trait is going on every card that uses blessed tokens in any capacity, I've got to think that by the end of, whether it's once we look at more classes in this box or by the end of the cycle, we're going to have so many blessed cards that something's got to work for Mateo, right? His card pool in particular is really growing. And it's got to add up to something, you would think.
I assume that there will be cursed cards as well. Do any cards or investigators care about cursed? I know, like Rex.
Rex is cursed. I think I can't remember if he has the trait cursed on him, kind of like now Sister Mary has blessed. But no, I don't think that the game has ever cared about the curse trait. It's funny because curse is a trait on weaknesses. Is cursed as an adjective also a trait on player cards? I guess it is, right? We've
I
seen
think
cursed
it is,
cards.
yeah.
Yeah, like I think the survivor, or one of the grizzly totem upgrades is blessed and the other is cursed, right? So we've seen
I
the
think so,
cursed
yeah.
trait.
Now,
Huh.
question:
Mhm.
we haven't seen a new taboo list yet for Innsmouth. Do you think that they're going to mutate Rex again? So instead of being limit once per turn, it's every time you get an extra clue, you add a curse token in the bag.
That would be cool. I would love that. No, I don't think that's what's going to happen. But
Ew.
I don't think you can mutate Rex so that Rex requires the Innsmouth Conspiracy product.
I mean, just product synergy, you know? Like,
Oh, I think that would be a super fun trade-off, and maybe it's funny. I'm sure that I read all these investigators as they were like previewed, but I don't remember what they do off the top of my head. I actually, until I took the shrink wrap off this box right before we recorded this video, I thought that the seeker in the box was Kate Winthrop. And I must have thought that because Barkham Horror parodies Kate Winthrop with Kate Winthrop. But no, it's Amanda Sharp. Which is a segue to ending this video, because we'll be back soon to talk seeker cards. Any final thoughts on this slice of what we're getting from Innsmouth?
honestly, I was I think, more intrigued and excited about trying Carolyn in this. Like, maybe because she was like the first support guardian. I was like, yeah, that's cool. Whereas this one, I'm just kind of like, I'll try it, but I'm not like that excited.
Thing is, I like supporting a lot. Like, I'm always the tank and the healer I used to always be the tank and the healer in World of Warcraft or games with similar types of character styles. I think that this seems like a much more fun way to, like, I think it's more fun to be blessing everyone and just be like, yeah, every time someone draws a bless token, I can insist that they should thank me. And, like, I don't know. I feel like that's a fun way to support the team and just kind of have a good time with it, more than just like, oh, all right, heal a horror, take a resource. Like, that sounds stronger, but just less bombastic and dramatic and fun. So I think, as someone who likes support, this looks really interesting to me.
Question.
Yeah.
Do you think that even if there's lots of blessed tokens, that you are going to make sure that you can succeed without them so that the Mary player isn't smug about it?
Oh, so that you always make sure that you can pass every test without blessings, that if you draw the blessings that are wasted every time. Yeah, actually,
you don't want to give them the satisfaction.
No, I think you're totally right. Yeah, with Mary though, I don't know what the heck she's supposed to do when she's playing like with 2 or less players, because she's only, I think, the way she's got discounts to spread around and is throwing so many blessings in the bag and can heal people and everything, that feels like a high player count strategy. And yeah, I don't really know why I would play her with 2 even, or solo. But I guess that's where the mystic side comes in. I guess you just build her with shriveling and clairvoyance, and she has 4 willpower, so Holy Rosary, and just do the mystic thing at those player counts, which that sounds much less interesting to me.
Yeah, and she's going to be a little, I guess the blessed tokens will help her succeed, but yeah, the 4 will definitely make succeeding with shriveling harder because it doesn't have any plus will. It like assumes that your will is already awesome. So.
All right. Well, with that, we'll call it a video, and we'll be back soon to talk about Seekers. So if you enjoyed this, likes and subscribes are awesome. Thanks for watching, Steven. Thank you for joining me for the 11th video we've recorded in a month and a half. And just 5 more till you're free.
Please.
All right. Till next time, be optimal.